Hey gang, Primal Punch here. Coming at you with how to certify on your Heimdall's bend or tires bend. Alright? Tires bend is the grade 8 bolt and Heimdall's bend is a grade 5. Okay? Now I cut the heads off and then reaffix them, okay? So that that's there. We know this isn't an imposter bolt, and what you'll do is when you break this out and you're ready to certify, then you'll go ahead and you'll do your measuring. Is this recording? Yeah. You'll do your measuring, okay? So we know that this is the 6" by 1/4" grade 5 bolt. It's got my markings on it. Alright, and my markings run along there. So then you're going to want to, you keep this on film, okay? You're going to keep it on film and you'll remove that head. You might want something to tap it against because, alright, once you've removed that, go ahead and this is going to stay on camera, so set yourself up with a little table or something, okay? Your wraps show them front and back at some point, okay? Show them front and back. Now, don't let people tell you not to bend in double wraps, alright? You should start out on the lower bends with single wraps to get the feel for steel and everything, but you've been using your steel bender's helper, so you've got a good foundation of strength. Double wraps will spare your hands, alright? If you hurt your hands, even a small injury, you know, a tear like that, you can't bend. You gotta take time to heal, and bending is life, man, you know? So why be foolish? Use double wraps if you have them, you know? If you have a single pair of wraps, you can always use, you know, a strip of t-shirt as your second wrap, any non-rigid wrap, okay? So we show our wraps front and back. Make sure you've got an extra rubber band, alright, or two, because sometimes they snap. You're allowed 1 rubber band per wrap. I just certified the Otis bend, so I'm super stoked about that. Alright, we're keeping everything on view, on camera. I'm going to set the wraps down and commence to wrapping. Alright, now I like to, when I wrap, double this over at the end because it's just easier to get that doubled material to tuck under and get a tighter roll. You don't have to do it that way, but you know, it's a preference thing and it works for me. So you see how that just tucks up nicely. The tighter the roll, the better, okay? Because the tighter that you make your wraps, the more efficiently you're going to be able to impart your strength, your force into that bar, okay? If it's sloppy, then force is spent moving that slop in, you know? It sort of acts like padding, like a little bend-proof vest for your bolt or other bar. Now, I'm just trying to do this to make it easier. I want a recipe for success. You've earned this strength. There's no reason why some small thing should be an impediment to your succeeding and certifying here. Alright? So, I'm trying for Heimdall's bend and just kind of showing how you're going to do when you get any bolt, okay? You'll show that first before you snap the head off. And on bolts, it is my recommendation to not wrap too shallowly. And what I mean by that is, don't wrap below the top of the threads, alright? You want to wrap above the threads so that you've got your wrap going at least into the onto the shaft a little bit, okay? The unthreaded portion of the shaft, that is. Or shank, I think they're called on bolts, right? Now the reason for that is that these are bolts that are alloy bolts. It's not mild steel, okay? So mild steel, even cold rolled steel, they bend without much risk of breaking. Now I have never had a grade 5 bolt break at the threads or otherwise. I did have a grade 8 bolt snap at the threads once, but I was lucky and had it wrapped above the threads. Now got this wrapped, gonna leave it in view, and I'll show you what I mean here on a bolt. You don't want your wraps below here. You don't want to be that shallowly wrapped. I recommend being at least a little bit above those threads, okay? It's been a while since I did any grade 5ers. Your certification attempt begins when you take your first hit against the steel, okay? You can test it out, get it up there, just don't hit the steel, because once you do, then your time starts. You got 5 minutes. Now if you can do it in 2 minutes or less, then you can earn the designator veneer next to your name, alright? Giant. And if you do it in 1 minute or less, then Iceer, Norse God. So that's really cool, alright, and that's good on any of the bends. So at some point you'll reach that point where your double wraps get in the way. They're an impediment instead of a boom. At that point, remove them, because they'll only cause you heartache. Now, there's a little bit of spring in your grade 5s and grade 8s, okay? Now, to be considered successfully bent, the distance between the inside edge of the legs, don't stifle your cough, sugar. That's not good for you. Sorry. Oh. Must be less than 2 inches apart, alright? From the inside to the inside. And you'll measure from the top of the shortest leg, straight across, not at a diagonal, alright? Straight across. So we've got 1 1/4 inches. Look at that. So I don't know how quickly I got that done. And just because, I'm going to go ahead and show my wraps again. Just at some point you'll show your wraps front and back, okay? And then keep them on camera for the duration of your bend. This isn't anything personal about you, but there are people out there who for some reason feel the need to cheat at anything that they do rather than earn their place at the table, you know? Next I'll be doing a video with some tips and hints on bending the square bar, okay? I named that the Loki's bend for the simple reason that it was just a pure love-hate relationship between myself and square cold rolled steel. It's messed up. It bends strange and it's a trip. Alright? So thank you all very much for coming by and hanging out with me. Live free, punch hard, roar, and bend hard, okay? And I'll catch you later. Be good to yourselves, alright? Because you're worth it and I dig you. Bye.